member of Savvy Forensic, and I'll be your host for today's webinar. Hello, ma'am. Can we start?
Yes, sure, we can start. I'll present
Okay.
the screen.
Yes, ma'am. So, through today's lecture, we aim to understand how certain plants that look harmless, like datura, oleander, marking nuts, and digitalis, can actually be toxic and dangerous. This poison not only affect health but also hold a medical legal importance in many criminal and accidental poisoning cases. So it gives me a great pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Rashmi Maam, Assistant Professor at JSPM University. She has over 8 years of experience in research and teaching. Ma'am is currently pursuing her PhD and has worked in areas like instrumental analysis, crime scene examination, electrochemical detection of pesticides, for which she holds a patent, and she has also received a Young Faculty Award in 2024 and published several Scopus Index papers. A gently reminder to all the attendees, please keep your microphone on mute throughout the session, and you may post your question in the chat box. The question answer segment will be conducted after the presentation. So now, ma'am, begin the session, please. Ma'am, over to you, please.
Yes, sure. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it moving?
No, ma'am.
Slide is not changing?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm not able to do the slideshow here actually.
Uh, Ma'am, your first slide is visible.
Yes, slide is visible, but it is not moving also. I'm not able to change the slides.
Ma'am, try it once.
Is it happening now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
sure. So we'll start then. Uh, Good evening, one and all present here. I'm Miss Rashmi Kadu. So, we are going to discuss today about the plant poisons. So, basically, when we talk about plant poisons, these are such poisons which are produced from plant and it affects the human body. Not only human body, it also affects the animals as well, or any living organism can be affected due to these poisons. So,
Ma'am,
these,
sorry
yes,
to disturb you, ma'am. Can you please do it in a slideshow manner? It's just.
sure.
Okay.
Now, is the slideshow visible?
No, ma'am.
No, it's not happening, I guess.
Don't worry, ma'am. Continue, please.
Okay. Yes. So these plant poisons affects different systems of our body, like our central nervous system. It affects our heart as well as our liver. So all these systems of the body can be affected, or even different parts of the body can be affected. So now let's see the different plants which are commonly seen or you might have used also as a flower or any temple offering as well. So let's see what these plant poisons are. First is datura. So datura, is botanical name is datura stratonium and datura fastosa. In the picture you can see there is a fruit of datura as well as the flower of datura present. So these datura are also commonly known as thorn apple, Jimson weeds, or Indian apple. It contains the active principles. What do you mean by active principles? So basically, such alkaloids in the plant are the chemicals. In other terms, or simple terms, we can say the chemicals in the plant which are present and causes the toxicity in human body or in any living organism. So first active principle is hyoscine, also known as scopolamine, then hyoscyamine and atropine. So these are the active principles which affects the living organisms in a toxic manner. Datura is basically a potent deliriant. Deliriant means is causes the neurological effects in human body, and it also interferes with the central nervous system, which further leads to the hallucination and confusions. If we talk about the toxicity or species of these datura, so there are wide varieties of datura available, and these are commonly found in the waste areas across India. So there are two main species which are found in India, that is datura alba, which are white flowers as you can see in the picture, and datura niger, which are black or purple flower. So if we see the key characteristic, these flowers are bell shaped, we can see in the picture also, and the fruits are spherical in nature as well as they have spines. So these are spiny fruits, and that's why it is called as thorn apple. The seeds which are present inside this particular datura are yellowish brown seeds, and they resemble chili seeds. So one particular fruit contains 450 to 500 seeds per, and if we weigh it in grams, it is 8 grams. We can see in this picture the appearance of the seeds. So what effects this datura produces in human body? So it stimulates the higher brain centers and motor functions. It inhibits the sweat and saliva secretion. It dilates the cutaneous blood vessels and pupils. It stimulates the heat regulating centers, which leads to hypothermia. So, if we talk about fatal dose, now fatal dose means such results in the living organism. Okay, so that is called as fatal dose. 100 to 125 seeds of datura are enough to produce fatal effects in human body. And if we talk about fatal period, these means fatal period means now when these fatal results are going to be shown in human body. So that is 24 hours for datura. Whenever datura gets absorbed in human body, or the alkaloids of datura gets absorbed, then it produces is or it start producing its fatal effects. We can take this, I mean, the person who takes poison, they take it in the form of decoction. Decoction means basically they uh, powder the seeds, and then out of that they take out the oil extract from it. So that is decoction, also in the powdered form. And many times in the foods or in the drinks, this particular seeds are given because they are quite bitter in taste. So in order to hide that taste, it is taken in the food or drink. Now, datura intoxication, when it goes in your body, what exactly happens? So, first, I mean, these intoxication symptoms are nicely put it by the author C.K. Parekh. Okay, so first one is dry as a bone, which is severe inhibition of salivation leading to extreme mouth dryness. So the saliva gets inhibited, which produces the dryness in the mouth. That is why it is called as dry as a bone. Next is red as a beet. So your pupils or cutaneous blood vessels get flushed or get dilated. So since it gets dilated, entire face or skin looks reddish in color, and that is why it is called as red as a beet. Next is blind as a bat. So due to the actions of this particular datura active principles, it affects the pupillary dilation, which leads to blurred vision or photophobia. Sometimes victim may even go blind, and that is why it is said as blind as a bat. Next is hot as a hair. Elevated body temperature happens due to the impaired thermoregulation, and the body temperature increases so much that when I mean, if you know hair means rabbit basically. So rabbit are, whenever you see the body of rabbit, these are quite hot in nature. Okay, even if there are any person who eat it as a food, then that mass, or we can say skin of the rabbit, is very hot to even human body. I mean, it produces hot symptoms. So similar kind of hot symptoms will be produced by this particular datura intoxication. And next is mad as a wet hen. So mad as a wet hen means person will have mental effects, which will also include the disorientation, confusion, and delirium, hallucinations as well. And like, if you have seen a hen, if you put water on hen, she will just ran everywhere. Okay, like as she has gone mad. So in similar way, even in human bodies, this particular symptoms can be appeared due to datura intoxication. So mostly these symptoms occurs within 30 minutes, and it happens if pure alkaloids are ingested or taken inside the body. So datura makes person delirium. So that is why it is called as deliriant poison as well. Medical legal implications. So datura act as a stupefying agent, means there have been many cases of road poisoning, where if anybody wants to do robbery or kidnapping or even sexual assault, what they do is they take this decoction part of datura or powdered part of datura, and then they add it in food. And you might have seen on the highways there are dhabas, or there are small pan tapris. Okay, so whenever you go there, and let's say they when these people who want to do robbery, what they do is they give you a prasad. They say that take this laddu, this is a prasad, and if you eat it, if it contains the dhatura, then what will happen is you will start having the delirium intoxication, and then that will lead for person, that particular suspect, to robber you or to kidnap you, or even for the sexual assault. This dhatura is mostly used. There have been many movies also where datura has been used. Most of the South Indian movies, datura have been used as a stupefying agent or stupefying poison. Next implication is impaired cognition. So victim's reasoning ability is impaired. A victim deprives of the reasoning ability, means he won't be able to think what is right or wrong. Whatever happens in front of him, he will keep it happening. He cannot deny, or I mean, he will be in such a state that he won't be able to deny whatever happens with that particular person. Next is amnesia. So once the intoxication is over, post intoxication, person will not be able to recall any events. So that is amnesia. And lack of resistance, as I said previously, person will even allow the theft to happen because he doesn't know what is happening with him. So he will allow anybody to pick his pocket as well. So these are the different medico legal implications. So that was all about Dhatura. Next is oleander. Oleander also you might have seen a lot of times, even in your home you might have this particular plant. So oleander is a cardiac toxin. It produces cardiac effects in human body, means it affects the heart of human body, and it is widely available in India. It is mostly used as a flower of temple offering. Its flowers are used as a temple offering, and then also uh, whenever the root part is used by kettles. Okay, so later we will discuss about why I mentioned about kettle here. Yes. There are two different varieties which are widely found in India, that is white oleander called as Nerium odorum or Nerium oleander. Next is yellow oleander, which is Cascabella thevetia, also known as Cerbera thevetia. So oleander looks, the flowers do look very beautiful, but then they contains the cardiotoxic poisons. Let's see the white odorum or white oleander. So you can see in this picture the white flowers. Okay. So active principles of Nerium odorum are nereodorine, nerine, nereodorane, and carabin. So nereodorane causes the muscular twitching and tetanic spasm. So then if we talk about nerine, so these different active principles affect different parts of body. Nerine produces cardiac glycoside, which affects the heart function. Then nereodorane contributes to the neurological symptoms of human body, and carabin act as a both. It will affect the heart as well as it also affects the spinal cord of human body. Lethal dose, so fatal dose of these Nerium odorum are approximately 15 grams of root. So root part of this particular plant is more toxic in nature, and fatal period is within the 24 hours. Fatal results will appear. So this particular plant primarily involves the direct cardiotoxicity, which leads to cardiac failure due to the disruption of myocardial contraction. So what happens is, whenever Nerium odorum goes inside your body, the cardio toxicity increases, due to which what happens is the myocardial contraction, means your heart, it pumps, right, it contracts, it relaxes, so that get disrupted because there will be spasm in that particular organ, and due to which the heart will not pump, and since it is not pumping, you won't get oxygenated blood, and further it leads to the cardiac failure. So oleander poisoning, it produces gastrointestinal effects like vomiting, abdominal pain, frothy salivation, cardiovascular effects like the pulse will be slow and weak, and person will have hurried respiration, means he will respire very fast. Neurological effects, restlessness, difficulty in swallowing, or locked jaw. Basically, person can also have fits whenever oleander poisoning has occurred. After some time, also person will have exhaustion, drowsiness, and coma, which further leads to the cardiac arrest. If we see the medical legal aspects of this particular plant, so person in mostly in rural areas, people use the root part or leaf decoction of oleander for suicide. Whenever there are any matrimonial or dowry issues, at that time they use this particular plant. It is also used as a abortifacient. Abortifacient means in order to do the abortion, the root can be used. um, Obviously this comes in the criminal abortion. Then accidental poisoning, sometimes, as I said, since we also use it as a temple offering. If any kid by mistake he chieves that particular flower, or due to any kind of misuse, accidental poisoning can also happen. And kettle poison, so sometimes what happens is, there are kettles which after some time does not produce good milk, or they get some diseases. So in order to kill them, oleander have is widely used in India. So yes, I mean, again, it is a criminal activity to do so, but still this thing happens in India. Next is Cerbera thevetia, next species, that is yellow oleander. So we can see here the picture of yellow oleander. It is also called as Pila Kaner. So you might have heard about this name, Kaner, mostly for the white oleander also and yellow oleander also. Toxicity, it produces cardiac glycoside inside from the plant, and then that affects the human body. If we see the morphology, the flowers are yellow shaped, they are bell shaped, sorry, yellow in color, bell shaped. Also the fruits are globular. So this particular plant also produces fruits which are globular, single, and they are triangular in nature. So it is quite a light brownish in color. Okay. And the active principles present in Cerbera thevetia, these are thevetine. Thevetine is isolated from the seed kernels. Seed kernels means the center part of the seed, which is a powerful cardiac poison. Thevotoxin is also taken from the seed kernel, which again contributes to the cardiotoxicity. Then cerberine, it is found in milky sap, means in the sap of the plant, the cerberine will be present, which affects the spinal cord of human body. Fatal dose of this particular plant is in the form of seeds, it is 8 to 10 seeds, and if we talk about root, it is 15 to 20 grams of root. And fatal period, again, approximately within 24 hours, the symptoms can be visible. Next is medico legal relevance of Cerbera thevetia. So suicidal poisoning commonly implicated in suicidal deaths, particularly among women due to its accessibility. So most of the time for suicide, this plant is used. Then induced or abortion, again, as I said before, that for criminal abortion, this plant is widely used, and for cattle poisoning also, this is used. Next plant is Semicarpus anacardium. Semicarpus anacardium is the botanical name of that particular plant, and commonly it is known as bilava or marking nut. You might have heard about bilava. So, marking nut. Why marking nut? Because traditionally, the washermans, basically dhobis, so they used to use this particular nut. So from this nut, some sort of oily or acrid juice can be secreted. Okay, so due to that, this particular juice is used as a marking ink, and that is why it is called as marking nut. Active principle of this particular plant is semicarpola, monohydroxyphenol, and bilavanols. So you can see in the picture, these are the seeds or nuts. These nuts are black in color, they are cone shaped, and it has a thick pericarp. Pericarp means outer covering, okay, which yields the brown or oily acrid juice. So toxic effects of this plant is it causes severe irritation. So whenever this particular marking nut or these seeds, if comes in direct contact with your body, so if through the contact there will be irritation, painful blisters will be formed, and these blisters will have the serum inside, and is it also called that is sorry, it also affects the, or it also produces eczematous eruptions on contact, means the skin of the person or the cells of the skin will get erupted due to the direct contact. Next is internal ingestion. If any person takes these seeds or ingest it, they eat it. So what happens is it will produce oral and throat blistering. It will produce severe gastroenteritis followed by dyspnea. Dyspnea means a person will have a problem in respiration. Then cyanosis. So due to lack of oxygen, the person's cells will have bluish color, and actually it will stop working. So that is called as cyanosis. Then tachycardia. Further, it will lead to coma and then death of the person. So fatal dose, 5 to 10 grams of these seeds are uh, readily produces harmful effects of effects in human body, and fatal period within 12 to 24 hours, the fatal results can occur in human body. So this is used as an abortifacient agent again. So for criminal abortions, the juice of this particular poison is used. You might have seen some Hollywood movies also where, you know, a kada is given to the person for abortion, or even in Bollywood movies also you might have seen. So mostly they use the semicarpus anacardium juice for the abortion. Then punishment for adultery. So I hope all of you know adultery is crime. So in previously in India, not now but many years ago, the juice of this particular poison plant is applied on the genitals as a punitive measure. So as a punishment, it could have been used before, which produces chemical burns and legal consequences in human body. Next is malingering cases, means basically dowry cases. In the cases of dowry, what happens means, see, dowry case, but where are these are false claims of dowry case. Suppose any woman wants to file a dowry case on her husband or in-law family. So what she you do does is she takes the juice of this particular plant, applies on the body, which produces artificial bruises because it will produce blister upon contact with your skin. So that appears as a bruise, and then in police station they can show it as a evidence. So again, after the careful examination of skin and the acrid juice, we can make out that it is semicarpus anacardium, and we can solve such cases in that manner. Then ocular exposure. So installation into the eyes can cause the severe conjunctivitis, and person can also become blind if the juice goes inside the eyes of the human body. Next plant is digitalis purpura. Okay. Now the flowers of this particular plant, these are very beautiful. Okay, so commonly this particular digitalis purpura is known as digitalis, or it is also called as foxglove. Why foxglove? Because these flowers appears as a glove of the fox. That's why it is called as foxglove. So it contains potent cardiac glycoside, and the active principles are digitoxin, digitalin, and digitonine. So these are the active principles present in this particular plant. All parts of these plant, like roots, leaves, seeds, everything contains toxic compounds. So you can see how beautiful this plant is, but it contains the toxicity from the top to the bottom, right? Fatal dose, digitalin, 15 to 30 milligrams of digitalin can produces fatal result in human body, and 4 grams of digitoxin can produce fatal results in human body. If we talk about fatal period, from it can vary from half an hour to 24 hours after the ingestion of the digitalis. Further, the digitalis produces nausea, persistent vomiting, abdominal pain, and diarrhea in human body. It also causes depression, headache, giddiness, and profound drowsiness, which can deepening into coma. It further can lead to coma. So you can see the symptoms looks very general. It looks very similar to any of natural cardiac arrest. Okay, and that's why mostly uh, analyzing this particular toxicity becomes challenging. So convulsions also happens before the death, and afterwards person dies. Then if we see the primary effects on heart, there will be bradycardia, where heart rate falls to the 20 beats per minute. Then heart blockages can happen, extrasystoles, and ventricular fibrillation. So again, there will be a little of spasm as well in the heart. There will be feeling of faintness or precordial operation. Respiration will become slow and sighing, indicating the severe central nervous system depression. So nervous system gets affected due to this particular poison. Further, this medico-legal perspectives of digitalis. So there can be accidental poisoning due to digitalis, where the most, this particular plant is used as a medicinal purpose also. So if we use it in a small quantity, obviously it can be medicine. But if you use it in more quantity, then this medicinal overdose can lead to the poisonous effect. Then homicidal implications. So as I said, the symptoms looks very similar to the natural cardiac arrest. So most of the time, in order to kill someone, this particular plants are highly used. And then the analysis of it can obviously detect if digitalis is present or not. But if if it is producing normal symptoms, person's family might not file the case also. So if case is not filed, obviously the dead body is not going for the post-mortem, and obviously there won't be any uh, samples for the analysis. Then stimulating diseases, so it can intentionally administer by the there are many persons, or we can say medical practitioners, which mean we can say that they tend to be a medical practitioner, but they are not the medical practitioner, they are the normal people. And they say that we can cure this particular disease, that particular disease, right? So such kind of people are also there. So these people, what they do is, in the name of ayurvedic medicine, they also give digitalis sometime, and due to that, again, the person might die. Key takeaways of this particular session. So, if we talk about these plant poisons, detecting them will be very beneficial both for the clinical treatments and further the medico legal investigations. If we use the developed analytical techniques, then that will give us rapid and precise identification of these toxins in visceral samples. And a person who knows about these plants, those are botanists, right? And the person who knows about the poisons are toxicologists. So these botanists and toxicologists can collaborate with each other, and in collaboration, we can strengthen the investigation as well as the forensic analysis of the evidence. And even in the legal frameworks, as I said, few of the poisons can be used as an evidence for the false cases, in order to imply the false cases. So there also, advocates, if they have the knowledge, or if they also collaborate with the toxicologists, they can have this knowledge, and can further control the access also to the highly toxic plants, and it will also help them also to solve the cases. So yes, that's all in this session. uh, any questions?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an informative and eye-opening session. We will now begin the question answer segment. Students, please can raise your hands or post your queries in the chat box. We will try to make as many questions as time allows. Ma'am, there is one question about 40 salivation.
Sorry.
There is one question in chat box. What is mean by 40 salivation?
Okay, wait a second. I will see the chat box.
Student, please kindly respond to attendance link. Uh,
Am I? Chat box is visible here.
yes, ma'am.
Frothy salivation. So frothy salivation means basically, okay, most of the time you might have seen this. Actually, this is false, but you might have seen that if there is any toxicity in human body, so froth or a salivation will be seen, just on the mouth of the person. In movies or in serials, you might have seen this. So that doesn't happen with all the poisons. It happens only with certain poisons only. So one of the plant poison which we have mentioned produces this frothy salivation, means the saliva will be very frothy, it will be very thick, and then it will come out of your mouth and it will cover the entire mouth area. So that is frothy salivation. Okay. Thank you, Nandita. Sure, I can share the PPT uh, with the organizers, and they can share it with all of you. And basically, I have referred all these contents mostly from the books are very important when we talk about forensic science. Instead of searching everything on Google and Chat GPT, if you read books you will get more knowledge. So this has been referred from CK Parekh, the medical jurisprudence and toxicology, forensic toxicology by CK Parekh. And also it is taken from the Subramaniam Reddy book. Okay, so that is also one of the forensic medicine and toxicology book. Stupefying agents means basically the person appears as a stupefied, because he will be a normal person. You might see him as a normal person, he will look as a normal person, but as I said, even if you take anything from his pocket, or even if you steal anything from his pocket, that person will not resist you to take it. No, general nature of ours is, if anybody try to take something from us, we snatch it, right? So but here, after taking the dhatura poison, once the person gets intoxicated due to the dhatura, what happens is that person will not be able to recognize what is right or wrong, what is happening with that particular person, and that is why he will act as a stupid person. So that's why it is called as stupefying agent. I hope that clears the doubt.
Ma'am, you told about three persons, plant persons here. Is there any one of these which is the most commonly used one? All are used, but in general, which is the most commonly used plant person?
The most commonly used plant will be the one which is more accessible to humans, right? If you see kaner, that is nerium oleander, right? Oleander plant. So it is available everywhere. You see any part of India, oleander is present over there, right? I have only not seen this plant that frequently in South India, especially in Bangalore, but in other areas I have seen this particular plant. And since it is more accessible, it is more toxic also. As I said, every part of it is poisonous. So yes, that is more toxic, but still we use it widely in India.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, one more question.
Yes.
All is are all the plants poisonous? We can say that. Is it possible to say that all points plants are poisonous?
See, if we see the definition of poison, anything in excess is poisonous to human body. Even if we talk about normal salt, salt is something which we eat daily, right? It is the essential part of our food. But still, if you take more amount of salt, like even the 5 grams of salt, if ingested simultaneously or at a time, at a once, then it can produce toxic effects in kids. Okay, so yes, we can say that everything present in uh, here in the world or environment, if taken in excess quantity, obviously it can produce the poisonous effects. uh, Calotropis gigantea is also one of the plant poison. We have not covered in this particular session, but yes, uh, Calotropis gigantea basically, the you might have heard it as a ruike fool. In terms of that, you might have heard it as a So, are there more questions?
Attendees, please ask, is there any doubt? There is no doubt. Okay, then we end the session. On behalf of Savi Forensic, I extend heartfelt thanks to Rashmi ma'am for sharing her knowledge and experience. Your explanations were not only scientifically detailed but also very relevant for student and forensic professionals. So, to all our participants, thank you for joining and engaging so well. We hope this session add value to your learning journey in forensic science. So stay connected with us for more such educational events. This is Alsna Khan signing off on behalf of Team Savvy Forensic. Have a great day. Stay inspired. Stay curious. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for
Thank you,
allowing
ma'am.
me to deliver this session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Hello, hello. Good evening. Please, you can send the feedback form again because I was disconnected for the bad network for 2 minutes, so I could not able to fill the form.
Check the form is already there in the chat box.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, fill it.